Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're looking at creating a chart in Excel where the area between the two lines is colored. Now this is a sort of workaround chart, but it's kind of interesting to create. So my data is for new client acquisitions. It's actual versus budget, and you'll see that all the actual figures are larger than the budget figures. That's going to be pretty important for this chart. You want to have a gap between two lines, and this is the area you're going to color. The other thing that's important is that the bigger numbers appear in your grid before the smaller numbers, because otherwise the layering of charts isn't going to work. So with these being our larger numbers, these being our smaller numbers, we're going to create our chart, but I want lines as well, so I'm going to start by setting it up a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is click in this cell here, type an equal sign, and go and click on the actual. So what I want is a second set of data, and this second set of data is going to be my lines. So I'm just dragging to create it. Now it's better to create it by doing the equal sign so that these cells are an exact copy of these cells. So that means if, for example, I change this number later on, this number here is going to change too. They're linked together. That's really important. The other thing we can do is we can ultimately hide these two columns so that everything looks neat and tidy. So for our chart, I'm going to select over all of my data. I'm going to insert and then recommended charts and then all charts. And what I want is an area chart. So the one that I'm looking at here is going to have quarters 1, 2, and 3 along the bottom, and then areas for actual budget. So I'm going to click on that and select it. So now I've got my chart, but what we're actually seeing here is this data, and here is this data. What we need to do is to change how the data is plotted. Now with the data selected, if I go up here to change chart type, I'm not given the options I want. So what you're going to do is make sure that you actually have one of these areas in the chart selected. Right now I've got the actual. When I go to change chart type, then I get a ability to change the type of the chart. So what I want is these last two, these two here, to be changed. So I don't want them to be plotted on an area chart. I want them to be plotted up here with a line with markers. Just be aware, this one looks pretty similar to this, but this is stacked. You do not want the stacked one. You just want the line with markers. And so you're going to do that for both these bottom elements. So there is how you're going to get your lines to appear. So I'm just going to click OK. Now we don't want these grid lines because they're going to disappear behind our chart. So I'm going to select on them and just press delete. That will just delete the look of them. They're still behind the scenes, obviously holding the chart together. Now ultimately from this legend, the bit that I don't want is this colored area. So I'm going to click on the legend and then click on each item individually that I want to remove. So I want to remove this actual, so I'm going to press delete. I'm going to come in and select the legend again. Again, click on budget here and remove it. All I want is these lines to be indicated. Now we can change the look of these lines by selecting on them, right click and choose Format Data Series. We're going to the fill options here, and this is the color for the line. So I could select a different color. So I'm going to color that red. It's disappearing a little bit. We'll get that in a minute. Going to the second line, and I'm going to color it a little bit darker. Now for this yellow piece, we want to remove the color from it entirely, but if we select no fill, we're just going to see the orange piece behind it. What in actual fact we want is a solid fill, which is white. I'm just going to choose white as a solid fill. When I click away, you can see that we've got the beginnings of this colored area. So this line is the same color as the background. That's why we're not seeing it really clearly. So let's go and select this data here, which you can see it's selected. Let's go to the fill color. It's colored orange. Let's choose a different color for it. So I'm going to select one of these standard colors and just have it highlighted in yellow. Now we can go and put in our chart title. I'm just going to click on the chart title, click here, type an equal sign, and go and click my chart title, the cell that's containing the title data for my chart. So this is my chart. It has lines showing where the actual and budget are, and the area between them is filled with color. Now at this point we've got two sets of data appearing here. We may want to hide these, so I'm just going to select on them. Now before I hide them, well actually let me just hide them, because you'll see what happens is everything disappears from the chart. So let me put them back there again. Let me click on the chart, let me go back to chart design and then to select data. And down the bottom here is an option for hidden and empty cells. We're going to open that and click here on show data in hidden rows and columns. What that does is it ensures that if we hide columns like we're about to do here, the data that was in those columns is still going to appear in the chart. And we created the chart with duplicate sets of data. So if I change this actual figure to, for example, 150, you'll see that the entire chart rebuilds itself. Now the only time that this chart is going to fall down a little bit is if a value in the actual column is less than the budget column. So let's just go and make this 25. So you'll see that we still have highlighted the area where actual is bigger than budget, but the area where actual is less than budget is just appearing without a fill color. We can't get around that. That's just the nature of this chart. But if you wanted something where you had values that were larger in one category and smaller in the second category, and you want this kind of chart, then it's really robust, it's easy to create, and it packs a bit of a punch because it's something pretty unusual. If you like carefully researched content like this, clearly presented in a step-by-step format so that you can get great results every time, then you'll love my other YouTube videos. So give this video a thumbs up and click to subscribe to the channel. And on the screen now, you'll see a video that I've handpicked for you to watch next.